That's one small step for man.
Out for the. Hello, welcome back to Here's What's Going On podcast. It's me, AJ. We'll jump right into today's episode. We're discussing how not to measure how fast you're healing, but to instead focus on your treatment and working your steps. I've healed a lot in going to therapy, and my process of going to therapy did not prepare me for the person who's my celebrity crush to be at the Pink Panthers concert and break my heart. Anyway, I'm just playing. Basically, in my process of going to therapy, I made it a point really to just keep my eyes on my own paper. Like, I realized that I used to compare myself to others so much more than I do now. Like, now I work with, like, more so comparing myself to the self I was before. Like, I basically keep my eyes on my own paper. Like, when you're taking a test, and, like, that's kind of where that phrase comes to me, like, keep your eyes on your own paper. Like, don't look over at what that person's doing over there. Don't look in front of you. Don't look behind you. Don't just look at your own paper. And in doing so, I'm kind of able to have a healthier, more regulated experience with processing my emotions and my responses. In the article, EMDR in a World of Hyperfocused on Healing by Megan Ashley Smith, they discuss the effects of EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing when it comes to trauma. The article discusses how the brain stores trauma in fragments and how that creates issues with processing emotions and regulating your emotions because it's fragmented. EMDR can assist with that by reorganizing those fragments in a safe environment and allowing them to be processed in a better way and allowing for better healing or healing in general. I like that the article includes how healing should be viewed in an individual way rather than a comparison to someone else kind of way, and how it's not a race. I think trauma and grief, I think of trauma and grief as one of the most individually inclusive things so many people experience. Trauma and grief are such universally individual things, but they happen to so many people. It's just we can't see, trauma and grief on a person as easily as we can see, let's just say, like illness such as cancer. You can't see like grief on a person as easily. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you just can't, And I think that, it's something worth talking about, especially when we talk about healing. Everyone talks about healing, but there's another side. Not even even for me, I wouldn't really have looked at like, oh, healing is, I got to be as competitive in my healing, or I'm better than other people because I healed from certain things. No, it's not a competition. It's not a contest. It is what it is. It's an experience that's so universally individual that it's like, everyone has, like, a lot more people than most have trauma, a lot more people than most have grief, a lot more people than most deal with, like, mental illnesses and things. And I think that you just can't see it. It's not something that's as physical, all the time, but people do. And I think, it's important to discuss it. And I think I did look into EMDR, but I kind of went a different route with what I wanted to do as far as my therapies and things like that. But it works for people. And if it's been researched and shown that it does help, cool. But of course, they all do have their downsides and harmful effects and whatnot. But if it can help people be able to process their traumas better, so be it. Because I know what it's like to live with unhealed and fragmented, in the sense of what the research says, trauma, and how it affects you and how it can affect your whole entire life. So I get it. So moving on to what I'm happy and grateful for. I'm happy and grateful for planting my plants. Like, I tried a different pepper because they were out of jalapenos this year. So, like, I basically went ahead and planted these poblano, I think they're called, peppers. We'll see how it goes. I think they're hotter than the jalapenos. So we'll see. I just got to be real careful. I also got a citronella plant to keep the mosquitoes away because I don't want to deal with them as much. And it helps. It really does help lessen mosquitoes, like, for real. Because I've seen a lot more mosquitoes this year, like a lot more bees this year. Like, I'm kind of grateful for it too, because for a decent amount of time, like, I wasn't seeing as many bees and as many, like, mosquitoes and stuff like that. Not that I want to see a bunch of mosquitoes, but bees we need. We mosquitoes, I'm still trying to figure out what the point of them is. But moving on to the quote, we mature by damage and not by age. I think that's exactly like what it is. We learn more from pain, sadly. The things I've learned and wisdom I possess comes from pain. Pain for me is a perspective helper. There's this video of this lady on TikTok where she says, we die at the end of this, after everything she says. And for that, that's kind of my mindset. I think about, like, I die at the end of this. Not to say fuck it, we ball, but it is helpful when putting things in perspective. Like, when I'm stressed at work, I could die today and my job will replace me tomorrow. Getting mad and not holding on to being mad, because we die at the end of this. Like, we learn through pain. We grow through struggle. We rise and gain resilience because of having to go through something hard. It sucks, but it's true. But before I go, be sure to check out the show notes. Also, check out my books on Amazon titled Poems to Cry to in the Dark and Love Letters Never Sent to Myself, and leave a 5-star rating. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'm glad you're still here, and I hope you have the day you deserve. Bye!
One giant leap
For me!